It was a big day for Breeze Airways. The small startup, which began passenger service in 2021, announcing the purchase of 10 more Airbus A220s on February 20th for 220, and converting their entire passenger fleet to the tech-rich aircraft. All part of the company's ambitious plans to make their mark in a very competitive industry. It was a big day for us as well, heading up to Utah to check out Breeze's operations,
400,
including piloting an A220 simulator, capturing all the fanfare of an inaugural flight from a brand new destination.
When it lands, people know that Breeze has arrived.
And getting an up-close tour of an Airbus A220-300 with the CEO of Breeze himself.
With me today, we've got our editor, producer, Charlie, coming with us to Utah.
Adding to the excitement, this was our first time traveling with Breeze and our first time flying on an A220.
So we just got here to John Wayne Airport here in Orange County. We're currently waiting in line to get our boarding passes and check in our bags before we board the Airbus A220. So we're checking in and filming at the same time.
This is your boarding pass. Your bags are being tagged to Provo, Utah, and you guys are all set. Have a good night.
Thank you, too. We're off.
Attention in the terminal.
At the gate, we eagerly awaited for the arrival of the A220 we would be flying on.
No plane out there just yet.
Once everyone was off the plane,
I'll go ahead and scan you guys.
Okay. All right, first aboard the Airbus A220.
we were given early access to see the inside of this impressive aircraft.
Hello. Thank you. How's it going? Good, how are you?
And it did not disappoint.
This actually is a pretty big plane. Really in lengthwise, longer than I expected. Very nice, very nice. A lot of space in the aisle as well. Usually I'm walking through the aisle and I'm hitting the seats. Very spacious.
Our fellow travelers to Utah then started boarding.
Please sit down and buckle up.
So for today's flight, we are in row 3A and 3C, a window and an aisle.
We then took our seats in Breeze's first class section, known as Ascent,
Items must be placed in a red bin for takeoff and landing.
and prepared for our journey north to Provo.
Hungry? Yes.
As our flight filled up, we checked out some Breeze amenities.
Lots of beverages, a lot of bites, drinks. What should we get? Also, nice Wi-Fi here on Breeze. Connection steps for you, just in case you need that.
Flight time's 1 hour and 7 minutes from wheels up to wheels down.
After a message from Captain Mike,
Sit back, relax, enjoy the flight. Welcome aboard Breeze.
it was time to taxi over to the runway.
Flight attendants are doors departure, cross-check, and await all call.
So we're not really going to see too much of a takeoff. The windows are completely kind of just fogged up. But they are nice, large windows, certainly on this Airbus A220. And if you know, I like my larger windows, especially in the Dreamliner. These pass.
Adjust that strap so it fits tight.
Cabin lights then dimmed, showing off the A220's modern ambient lighting. And it was finally time for takeoff. At cruising altitude, it was time to get comfortable with the in-flight offerings.
For an hour and 10 flight, it's $8 for the Wi-Fi. I think on this flight I'm going to pass on that. I think I could do without Wi-Fi for about an hour.
We were definitely not passing on some snacks, though.
With our Ascent seat, we've got complimentary of our juices and our sodas, as well as some of our smaller snack bites.
Those same items are for purchase in other sections of Breeze, and the premium snacks like what we ended up getting will cost you even in Ascent.
The snack boxes, yeah. And then there's those Breeze bars.
Easy snacking on the fly, it says. Got our crackers, almonds, apple fig.
It was actually pretty good. I mean, it was a mixture of a lot of different things that I think all work together.
topped off with a little Diet Coke.
Did you have the gummy bear?
Not yet. That's dessert.
Oh, see, he's not even done.
I'm not even done.
Currently 145 miles out, be landing in 24 minutes.
Barely done with our snacks on this short flight, we began our initial descent into Provo.
So this is my first time in an Airbus A220. I gotta say, what a fantastic plane. Very smooth, very quiet, very modern, very sleek.
Thank you, and we will be landing shortly.
Well, that was a quick flight from Santa Ana up here to Provo, Utah. We'll be touching down here in a matter of minutes.
Welcome to Provo. The local time is 10 p.m.
Once again, thanks so much for flying with us.
Have a good night, guys.
Thank you. It was a great flight.
On our way out, we stopped to have a quick chat with Captain Mike and get an up-close look at the very modern A220 cockpit.
Yeah, come on in. As far as what I've flown, yeah, this is pretty new. It does a lot of fancy stuff. A lot of electronics, a lot of automation. The side stick's probably the weirdest thing to get used to. I don't know if you ever played like any old video games. Yeah. It's similar to like what I had in like 1990 as a PC thing. It's kind of how it feels.
All right, that is it for the A220. Checked out the cockpit. Thanks, you guys.
Hey.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
All right, we're officially in Provo, Utah, headquarters for Breeze.
We then head to our hotel to rest up for the big day.
All right, well, it's the next morning. We're off to Ogden, Utah for inaugural with Breeze. Let's go. Morning, James.
Good morning.
James from Breeze took us on the 30-minute drive where the airline was celebrating the first day of service at Ogden Airport.
All right, guys, so we just made it to Ogden, Utah. As you can see, very excited. The Breeze is coming to their town.
I love it. I love it. It looks so good.
Inside the small Ogden Airport terminal, last-minute preparations were underway, including finishing up getting the ticket counters ready for the first Breeze Ogden passengers.
Good energy here today.
Yeah, we're really excited.
Today we celebrate connecting Utah's O-Town with the OC.
After some words from local dignitaries and Breeze executives, Breeze's maiden incoming Ogden flight pulled up to the terminal.
So the aircraft coming in from Santa Ana, California has just arrived here for the first time at Ogden, Utah. Look at her.
What a great flight.
Hey.
Beautiful
Great
plane, wonderful.
These passengers were greeted with excitement inside the terminal, where the founder and CEO of Breeze himself, David Neeleman, had arrived to take in the celebrations. We then headed over to the A220 that had just landed to get our tour of the plane with the airline industry legend, where we also discussed why he believes this aircraft is the future of Breeze.
So this is your pride and joy right here, huh?
Yeah, this is the Airbus A220. This is an amazing aircraft. You know, we had a lot of different aircraft we could have chosen, but you know, this is the newest technology airplane in the sky. You know, Boeing 737 technology dates back to the 1950s, right. Airbus to the 1970s. And the first meeting to kind of design and build this airplane was in 2005. And so you can see that it's just the latest and greatest. It's so fuel efficient, it can fly 7.5 hours, so it's really the best.
It's a match made in heaven, huh?
It is for our operation.
That impressive range and fuel efficiency make the A220, which was originally developed by Bombardier before being taken over by Airbus in 2018, perfect for Breeze's point-to-point operations, focusing on smaller markets like Ogden.
From a range point of view, from a short field takeoff point of view, you know, when we get inside, you'll be able to see the cabin, but it really is an engineering marvel. The opportunity in the United States is basically to fly between cities that don't have nonstop service. You know, we're here in Ogden, Utah today. It's our first flight. There's no commercial airline service here in Ogden. You need a plane that has a lower trip cost. Those A320 ones, 240 seats on them, would never work in a market like this. About 90% of our flights are between cities that don't have service. So you need a plane like this that has a low trip cost, low fuel burn, low maintenance cost, latest technology, so it allows us to do stuff that no one else can do.
Why wouldn't an A319 or a 737-700 work on a market like this?
Well, they aren't even being made anymore. They're so economically inefficient. You know, this plane is thousands of pounds lighter than an A319. So, you know, it's much more fuel efficient, probably burns 100 gallons an hour less than an A319. And because we bought 120 of them at the time when Airbus really needed to sell them, we got a great deal on the airplanes. When we looked at the maintenance, over a 10-year period of time, this plane has to be in heavy check for just a couple of weeks because, you know, of the latest technology.
And speaking of that technology, we got an up-close look at the engines that powered this plane.
These are Pratt & Whitney engines. You know, there's a little teething pains on them, as you have been read in the press, but it's absolutely beautiful. It has a really high bypass ratio. It burns less than 600 gallons an hour. You know, the fan moves slower, and which allows a whole new step change in fuel economy and sound and, you know, all the environmental stuff as well.
Do a lot of CEOs of airlines know this much technical about the planes like you do?
You know, I like to dive deep into it. And, you know, since I made the decision to buy this aircraft, I had to know all the details about it. And so we spent a lot of time studying it.
And do you think other airlines are going to see what you're doing with the A220 and say, it's interesting?
Yeah, I think by the time we get our last one, we'll have the largest fleet in the world of them. You know, right now we're top 3. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of people looking at it.
There have been other commercial planes in here in the last couple of years. Allegiant, Avalo.
Yeah.
Now you guys. The other two pulled out. Now what makes you confident that this is going to work out for you guys here in Ogden?
You know, I think SNA is a special airport.
Yeah.
And people in Utah love going to Newport Beach and Disney. And so I think that's the difference. We have 2 flights a day out of Provo, and they do spectacularly well. We know how many people are driving from here to go all the way to Provo. So we're going to just let them and not have to make that drive.
You know, it's a beautiful plane. It's a very beautiful plane.
Yeah, it's beautiful. But you can just tell the lines, just a very built for economy.
And I love how it sits up very high. You know, at a 737, you're really low to the ground.
That's right. You need to for these high bypass motors. Love the check mark. We call it the Ascent.
It was then time to head inside the A220-300.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how's it going?
Good, good.
Good to see you.
And along the way, we saw firsthand how involved David is with his company and the people who keep it running.
Well, it's a pleasure to finally meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Everyone seems very happy today.
Yeah, you know, inaugural day. It's a big day. How are you?
I'm Josh. I'm the manager on duty for this operation.
Oh, great.
So,
great.
Nice to meet you.
Keep us safe, Josh.
I will do what I can.
Thanks. Hi, Jeff.
Matt?
Hi, Matt. How are you?
Good.
Get a coat on, man. Hi. This is one of our newer ones here.
How are you, sir?
How are you? Good to see you.
David then explained why the cabin of the A220 fits so well with Breeze's business model.
One of the reasons we picked the 220 was the efficiency of putting premium seating in. So if you have like a 737 or A320, you're 3 and 3.
Right.
So if you go 2 and 2, you lose 2 seats. In this case, because we're 2 and 3, we do 2 and 2, we only lose 1 seat.
Okay.
So we lose half as many. So it's just much more efficient. And so people can upgrade to first class for a lot less than they would on, you know, one of those other guys. So you can see the red seats here have extra legroom.
Right.
So we have 45 of those where you can actually buy extra legroom seats. And you can see that, you know, I'm 6'2". And then these others are yellow back here.
I mean, this is a large aircraft. I mean, really, when you think about it, when you look at it from the outside, you're like, hey, it's not that big. It is big inside.
That's big. There's 137 people on board. We could actually do 145 if we didn't have the first class. But every single person has a power port, so you can charge your phone and you can be online. But even this seat here is comfortable, and I could certainly fly in this seat. It wouldn't be a problem.
And the overhead bin's pretty large?
Really large. You can put your bags in endwise, and because you don't have as many seats across, so they're really nice.
So I heard there's a rumor that there's a window in the restroom.
Well,
is that true?
It depends on what the configuration is. Delta has the bathrooms here.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And so then that window's in the bathroom.
Okay, gotcha.
Our bathrooms are back in the back.
Ah, there you go.
So we can be more economical and put more seats in with more legroom.
She's a beauty.
Yeah, she's nice. Amazingly clean airplane.
Fleet-wise, you guys ordered 10 more yesterday. You have 60 on option.
That'd be 90 now. 90 total, and we'll have all 90 by the end of 2028. I've never been more excited about about Breeze than I am right now. It's exciting times.
How do you feel when you're on the plane? You feel at home?
Yeah, you know, I've been doing this for a lot of years.
Yes.
But you know, you never get tired of watching your own planes take off.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
And even though he's had a hand in the creation of several airlines, David remains humble about his place in the industry.
But you're a legend in the world of aviation, airline industry.
I mean, it's a tough business.
Yeah.
I've been fortunate.
Yeah.
I've had some really good people to work with, and we've done some amazing things.
Is Breeze it for you? Are you
That's it. I'm done.
You're done?
Yeah, I am. This is, we got a lot of work to do here. The flight deck.
Finishing up our conversation, David takes us into the cockpit.
This is so clean and so, you know, technologically advanced. It's just amazing.
Did you ever want to be a pilot?
Not really. I have ADD. You don't want me being your pilot. I have a deal with our pilots. I won't tell you how to fly the airplanes if you don't tell me where to fly them.
There you go. There you go.
So, yeah, they do such a fantastic job.
And speaking of those pilots, we got to stop by Breeze's training center in Salt Lake City later in the day.
So we have our simulators here for pilot flight training, ground training.
So each time you're opening the door,
we do our flight attendant training here, and then we have like emergency training.
Jason Holbrook, Breeze's director of training, took us on a quick tour of the facility.
Our pilot classrooms are in these two rooms.
Starting with the class of newly hired pilots who got a personal visit from the CEO.
The good thing about being here is that you're not going to have to be on reserve in Newark for 7 years.
green. What color is my escape slide indicator?
Red.
And says armed.
This is a flight attendant class being trained on how to open and function doors in case of emergency.
So, is my door armed or disarmed?
Disarmed.
Disarmed.
This is the A220 emergency evacuation slide. So they'll use this to simulate having to do an evacuation.
From there was off to the highlight of this tour.
So this is our second and our newest simulator for the A220.
Getting a truly hands-on look at Breeze's newest A220 flight simulator, used for pilot training.
It feels like you're on the Star Trek flight deck. You can fit 12 people in there. So they have hoses hooked up for air intake and air outtake, so there's a flow of air going through the sim to keep it cool. And these black boxes are the different computers for the visuals and the servers and the whole simulation.
We then head up the stairs to an exciting first.
All right, guys, so I'm going to go, well, try to be a pilot here in this A220 simulator here at Breeze. Wish me luck.
It's the newest and greatest, yep, the best technology, brand spanking new. It has exact replica, exact size, all the buttons and switches are the same things you'd see in the actual airplane.
For someone like me that's never flown a plane, obviously, am I going to find this very difficult?
With my instruction, no. You're gonna do great. You're gonna take off and you're gonna land just safe.
Oh boy, we'll see.
Put us on a runway for takeoff.
Oh, can we do LAX?
Yeah, let's do LA.
With Jason in the back helping get everything set up, I get ready to pilot this A220.
Depending on our airport database, we can go different places in the world. So he's taking you to LA.
LA.
Yeah. So I'll get you all set up over here as the captain.
All right, so we're just holding short of 24 left. So if you guys watch the live streams, you're pretty familiar with what this runway is.
All right, you ready to take off, Captain?
Am I ready to take off?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I think you are.
So we're moving.
All right, I'll have you push the thrust levers up.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Auto thrust. Auto thrust.
And then once we reach a certain airspeed, then we'll be able to lift off.
V1.
I then lifted this A220 off the ground with a camera in hand.
Look like LA?
Yeah, the ocean, Doc Wild.
So see the side stick right here?
Yeah.
So if you want to go left, just push it to the left.
Ooh.
Dual input.
Yeah, keep turning us to the left. Let's go back, maybe downtown.
After flying over Los Angeles for a few minutes,
Left engine fire.
Uh-oh.
Left engine fire.
I was given a little challenge.
When this happens, we just run the checklist.
Yeah.
Here, you just put
Right engine fire.
checklist. Oh,
Right engine fire.
you put both of them on fire.
Thankfully, this was just a simulation.
So which runway?
Before right.
Before right? Okay. All right, so I'll get us lined up and then I'll just kind of help you out. You can put in the flaps for me. Just move that lever to 3. There you go.
2,500.
Runway's in sight.
200.
And we were able to safely land back at LAX.
30. 20. 10.
There you go. We landed. Good job.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Now that I've landed an A220, let's head back to Ogden for the very first Breeze flight out. As the A220 was being prepped outside, passengers inside eagerly awaited their trek to Southern California.
We were looking for a vacation to go on something quick, and then I saw Breeze Airways come up on our search, and I was like, oh, there's Ogden flights. It's very convenient.
We're so happy. We used to fly from here, and now we're so happy that flights have returned.
To board at this time, we're at gate number 1. Please have your boarding pass ready.
As passengers began lining up to board,
Hi.
we met a young aviation enthusiast.
Did you get some wings?
Yes, I did.
Wow, look at that.
Who was just as excited about the plane ride as he was for his family's trip to Disneyland.
Excited about going to California?
Yep.
Yeah? You want to be a pilot someday?
Yeah.
You want to fly Breeze?
Either Breeze or Allegiant.
Well, best of luck to you.
And Mom was excited for the convenience of this new route.
I love it, because we're like 5 minutes down the road, so awesome.
So we've got Casey.
As passengers continued boarding this special flight,
Brady.
we decided to surprise this future pilot with an official airline videos goodie bag, where we found him getting a tour of the cockpit.
All right.
What do you think?
It's definitely different than what I thought it would be.
Your first time in the A220?
Yes.
Yeah?
It's all been A320s this whole time.
Okay.
Awesome.
So this is your future plane, huh?
Hopefully.
Yeah?
You'll love it.
All right, here's your goodie bag.
All right.
A day he will surely never forget. With the plane nearly full, it was time to head back outside to get a front row view of this A220 departing for Orange County. It was an amazing action-packed day with the people of Breeze.
Little turn and burn.
Getting to see every level of this operation, from the always friendly staff and crews
Here's this for you.
to the man leading the way.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
And there was no better way to end the day than to see everyone's hard work and dedication taking flight with another milestone for Breeze.